Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the podcast. Once again, talking about enlightenment. This is the Spiritual Enlightenment podcast where we share ideas that transform your life for the better in magical ways at that. Today I'm joined with Pippa. She's been on the show many times, YouTube subscriber and also content creator. And yesterday we had a very deep, meaningful, and powerful talk about enlightenment, teaching, and guruship. So I'm wondering, what has changed since the last day? Has anything changed with you whatsoever?
As you instructed, I watched videos of decaying bodies, and oof, that was pretty disgusting. And it was different experience looking in the mirror after that. Um, Quite strange, and I wanted to I don't know. I could feel the need in my body to touch myself and ground myself, and even to eat food, or that there was some kind of am I here? Is this a thing? Um, so I can see where that could go if I further that process and do it more and go visiting a cemetery, as you said, and spend some more time discovering what the body is and where it will go. So that has changed, and yeah, this week has been emotional in general. And the past 2 weeks before this, I felt quite invincible and very light in my energy. Um, and now I'm going back to the hopeless, helpless torment of life. And when I'm sitting here and talking about it, it's easy to laugh at it and feel good. But then there's moments where it's really like I don't know. I don't have the words for it. Um,
Understood.
mm,
Yes, the seeing of decaying people and bodies can definitely give you disenchantment. That's what it is. That's what it's called, the disenchantment. You're enchanted with this world. You think that sensual pleasures can give you some long lasting happiness. You're chasing them, chasing all over for them, imagining them in your mind, and ultimately the truth is that you're just a decaying corpse, but not yet. That hasn't happened yet. Talking this way is very shattering to the delusions. Some people may even think, why is this person so negative? I'm not negative. It's not negative. This is the truth. Look within yourself. Look what you are. You'll find there are bones. People on Halloween put skeletons outside of their front door to scare you. If you looked inside of this one and saw a skeleton of your own, that would give you a nice fright also. And it would shatter you from the beliefs of chasing after worldly pleasures or getting some sensual pleasure or some satisfying your lust. That's all fine and good. But if you can see this, you can see that you're ultimately a skeleton. Your life is going to be very confusing. So don't do this. Keep looking inside of yourself. When I was on the Buddha's path, studying the Buddha's teachings, the Buddha often said, at least this is what I liked. This one passage that the Buddha said, this one quote, he said, monks, contemplate the form of the skeleton. Look within and see yourself as a skeleton. Contemplate the skeleton inside of you. I would do that constantly, daily. On occasion, on moon filled nights, I would see my inner mind's eye that I am exactly that. I'm a skeleton. I have a skull, I have bones, I have a rib cage, I have a femur, I have toe bones. This is just a pile of bones. That gives me such great dissatisfaction. Using dissatisfaction here in a positive way. It makes you step back from the body a little bit. Wow, this is how it is. This is what it is. The attachment and pain that I was experiencing suddenly began to be let go of. And finally and ultimately, when you can totally see the inside of this, when you can see that it's a decaying corpse, that's it. It's over. There's no more delusion. There's no more hiding from this. So I want you to first and foremost see, all of you out there listening, and also Pippa yourself, that you are actively hiding from this. You don't want to see this. Or at least this is not an area of your life that you paid attention to. Sadhguru says that we pay attention to the external world. This is why enlightenment doesn't happen. Because your constantly eyes are pushing forward and ears are listening for the environment, smells are coming in, tasting things, contact in the body. And then mind activity kind of, it's there, but nobody really pays attention to their thoughts. At least in the common sense, the common folks. And then the deeper side of the mind and the deeper things that are happening inside, forget it. There's virtually no perception of that whatsoever. But you do have this inner perception, the mind's eye or the third eye, and you can pay attention to what's inside of you. Once you do, when you do, freedom from suffering is right there. Potentially, it's there. That's what you can get. So enlightenment is not some fancy state where you levitate above the ground and float in the sky. It is the basic freedom from suffering. Today, Sadhguru said in his quote, daily quotes, shout out to Krish, by the way, he always posts daily quotes on our Discord channel. So if you want to watch, if you want to join our Discord, there's an extra benefit for you there. The daily quote today or recently was Sadhguru saying that enlightenment is so simple. It's so easy. If it wasn't easy, if it was hard, if it was somewhere on Mars, for sure we would have gotten it by now. Everybody would have gotten it. We would have put our resources together and everybody would go there and everybody would get this. But unfortunately, it's not that difficult. It's so simple. I shouldn't say the word difficult. It's so simple. It's extremely simple. It's the most simplest thing in the universe because it's inside of you. Does it take 10 years to look inside of yourself? No, it takes 1 second or even less than that. But because it's so simple, it's so confusing. Where is this? How do I get this? What do I have to do? Your lifetime can be spent doing this. Ultimately, you just have to open your eyes and perceive the truth of what is inside of you, which is so simple. You're just a bag of bones and meat and muscle and blood and flesh. Oil of the joints, liver, spleen, kidney, undigested food, digested food, excrement, bowels, nails, teeth, skin. Wow, so beautiful. Yeah. That's the way it is. It's the way it is. So you can't change this. This is not something you can change. It's just factual reality. Once you come to terms with reality, that's it. Life becomes very simple and everything becomes very easy.
I watched your video with Leo about all the suffering you went through, both of you, before attaining. And yeah, I wonder why all this struggle.
Do you mean about me specifically or in general?
Let's start with you specifically.
Why all the struggle? Because I was confused. I didn't have a teacher in front of me or around me, nobody to guide me, like I'm guiding you. This is so easy for you. Hey, this is like you getting on a tricycle and me pushing you. Hey, come on. You don't really do much. As long as you don't get off and you kind of steer a little bit, I'll take you there. I didn't have this. The only thing that I had were YouTube videos, some wise masters talking some things, Buddhist monks, and books. And you can very easily misinterpret books, as I did. Quite horrendously, actually. And it led me, well, led me to the bog, led me to the mosh. Hopefully I'll tag that video in the end screen of this video. So you can watch it out there. So I was confused, didn't know what I was doing, misinterpreting the teachings, and no one to give me instructions. Simultaneously, in addition to this, I had extremely strong desire and an intense burning fire towards this. So I was willing to do anything. I was willing to break my body. I was willing to make all kinds of mistakes because I understood I was making mistakes, but I was learning from them. Oh, okay, this is definitely not the way. I hurt myself quite badly here. Oh, irreversible, irreparable damage there. All right, nothing I can do. Let's go. And because of my sheer burning desire, I pushed through every limitation. No teacher, doesn't matter. I pushed through it. At the end of the line, you can say at the last mile, I found a teacher, which was Sadhguru, and he kind of guided me the rest of the way. But for me, why it was so difficult? Because intensely burning desire I had. Why? Well, to teach all of you. That was the intention that I made, and now it's beginning to be. Now it's unfolding. And why, in general, people have this? Well, I essentially answered your question already. Because no teacher, no guidance, no wisdom. So if you're listening to me out there, you pay me $220 Canadian, and I will get you there. At the very least, I'll help you to overcome any of the life's biggest problems and challenges that you have. I can do this from halfway across the world without coming in contact with you in any significant way. I can do this with energy. So if you want your life transformed and you're willing to risk $220, maybe I'm wrong, maybe this is wrong, you do it, and your life can change and will change. So yes, in conclusion, that no guidance. At the same time, or in addition, or lastly, that very difficult to do this. It's the most difficult thing in the universe. Very easy to go and conquer the world and do this, comparatively speaking, to conquering yourself. Conquering yourself is far more difficult than conquering external things.
Mhm. And technical question. So I meditate with the picture of Dhyanalinga always. And recently things started to change in the way I experience it. And when I sit in meditation, my body just starts spinning and I feel energy like whirling. Um, Whereas in the beginning, when I sat in the temple, when I was there, uh, it was always as if the Avalinga was emptying me, and things changed mainly in my mind space. And now that's not really the case. Like things, there's a lot of thought, but also intense energy. Like, well, um, and I don't do anything because that's the instructions that I know of. Just it's, um, but I was wondering if you have any like anything to add to that instruction. Or...
The Dhanalinga is a perfect teacher. It's the perfect teacher. If you come in contact with this energy, it's far better than any human being, far better than even the Buddha himself, because it has all the energy necessary to instruct you. So it is like a teacher, it is like a human being, although it's a stone, and it can guide you from wherever you are in the world. Astrally, we can say, or energetically, it can guide you. So it sounds to me like when you're first sitting in the Dhanalinga temple, that's what you needed to be emptied. Now something else has changed. The teacher has given you different instructions or guidance, you can say. And now you're gaining energy, which is good. Fantastic. Sounds to me like it's working and you just allow it to happen. And also, this will be temporary. Something else will change and your direction in this will also go. But I'm very happy to see this and hear this, that you have these powerful experiences with the Dhanalinga. Definitely don't take this for granted because other people, it can be quite hard to connect to this space or to this being, you can say. So definitely don't take this for granted and meditate and get stronger in this. Whatever you can, amplify this because it'll pay off in the future.
Okay. Thank you. I will.
So I think that's it. That's the end of this show. That's the end of the podcast. It's all I have to say. Thank you so much for Pippa for joining us on the show and allowing me to
Thank you
talk
for
about enlightenment. And we'll see you again next time where we talk more about this enlightenment experience.